Welcome once again. We back at the church.
At the church.
The caption says they played you.
They played you for trade skills.
You traded your skills for degrees and grades.
Trade the skills for degrees and grades. How y'all doing today? I am the Andrew.
I am Andre the Great.
So we gonna sit here and tell y'all how you've been bamboozled.
Hoodwinked.
I mean,
chickens coming home to roost though, like Malcolm X said.
They told y'all how to go to school, get these degrees and everything, to go be an employer or employee for an employer, but they tricked you. They bamboozled.
Remember I said the other day too that corporations buy employees and sell them back retail.
Corporations buy employees and sell them back retail. But anyway, we're going to show you how the trades that your parents should have been teaching you, working on you yourself, but they shipped you off to school. They shipped you off to school.
It brought you into a city, a municipality, took you off the land where you used to be farmers and producers.
And we just give it to them easily.
What you mean?
We're going to give it to you a little easy first.
What's that?
People with master degrees, it's not that many master degrees, right? They averaging around what? 70, the average, about 70,000 a year. And then we taking away, we gonna go to a person that's a plumber or people with skills. They average about 50, but people with bachelor degrees, they average about 50 also. So now let's think about your student loan that you're paying back. Your student loan. Most people with master's degrees got a student loan for anywhere between $60,000 and $100,000.
$100,000. Wow.
Now, you go work for a company making $70,000. Your student loans is more than the salary they're gonna give you.
So how did we get to this point where is the integration part that made us to work? Because we had our own communities, our own doctors, our own lawyers, our own school, our own curriculums, and all this stuff.
We were teaching our people, man.
We had everything on our own.
Like even before World War II, we were taking our kids to the farm.
Dr. Martin Luther King said he wanted to be separate but equal.
Separate but equal.
He didn't say anything about, but they didn't play those messages. But anyway, when they told us to go to school and get a good job, go to get a degree.
They told us that.
And get a good job. And I was talking to a gentleman earlier today, and he was just like an older gentleman. He got a master's degree, a Q dog. You know, he's been doing his thing. And he said, "Man, the system has failed us. The higher education is a racket, and the lower education is just steering the children to the prison pipeline and just to be workers." And he said the problem is no black-owned businesses. We don't have a plethora of black-owned business when 67% of the people in Memphis is black. He said that if the children are not seeing the parents with businesses and they teaching them to go to work, it was like you can't pass your job down to your child.
You can't pass a job down. You can't be a mayor and think your son gonna become a mayor. You can't be a doctor and pass your doctor job down to him, but you can pass the farming skills down. You can pass your plumbing skills down, your HVAC skills and trades and stuff.
The masonry skills and the building skills, and you can pass the tangible things you can do with your hands down because they're gonna see you doing it and you show them how to do it. Therefore, is education really necessary? Or no, wait a minute. Let me.
You got to tell them what education means.
Is schooling really necessary? Schools and degrees is really necessary.
Oh, because they did school, you didn't.
Yeah, because education means it's educo educare, which is Latin for education, which means to draw out what is within you. So draw out your natural talent. The schools are just putting things in you, and when you regurgitate it back to them, you get an A. Oh, you did that right.
You did a pat on the back.
Good job. Straight A student, valedictorian, all this stuff.
What about yourself? What about yourself, man?
You ain't do nothing for yourself, but you expect everything for God.
And I'm proud of the people that got their own business. Like you, my brother, you're entrepreneur. I'm proud of you, dog.
I appreciate you, my brother.
I'm still trying to find my way. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna take that for myself.
You done found your way.
I done found my way. I'm not gonna degrade myself like that.
He done found your way, just tapping into his true self.
Tapping into my true self, though. But I know one thing: I would never let my kids follow the same footsteps I felt. They're gonna be better than me. You see my kids out farming, hunting, holding rabbits up.
Yep.
I'm showing them that.
His little son is envious in a sense,
Yes.
not like
Yes.
that, but you know what I'm saying. I commend the yet that young brother. He do some stuff I ain't never done before.
But
And he ain't even what, about 5, 6 years old.
6 years old, and he got a brother that they're gonna learn the same thing right up under him. His sister gonna be doing it too.
So let me read this excerpt from The Miseducation of the Negro, Carter G. Wilson, 1933.
33, 33,
33.
33, right after the Great Depression.
It said, if the white man wants to hold on to it, let him do so. But the Negro, so far as he is able, should develop and carry out a program of his own. It said the so-called modern education, with all its defects, however, does others so much more good than it does the Negro, because it has been worked out in the conformity to the needs of those who have enslaved and oppressed weaker people. So this is in 1933. He was talking about this. Carter G. Wilson went around to the different schools and stuff, and he said this modern education, with all its defects, however, does others so much more than it does the Negro. So it's saying in 1933, this education or this so-called schooling that you was getting was no good for the Negro, if you want to call yourself that, better words.
For lack of better words.
This is the language of 1933. He said, Negro, so far as he is able to, should develop and carry out a program of his own. 1933, baby. This 2019, and we still following the same modus operandi. I think we're going to get a different result. I think that's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over,
it is.
expecting a different result.
Yes,
you're learning about Europeans. You're not learning about anything about yourself. You're not teaching you agriculture, not teaching you how to grow and be a producer. They're teaching you how to be a worker and an employee. If you look it up in the New Oxford Dictionary, it'll go scroll down to some of the definitions, and one of the last definitions would be a slave. It's not my words.
It's not our word. So they played you. They put it in the book because they knew you weren't going to read.
Remember that song Nas had with Damian Marley? They played you with an apron like, bring me my dinner, Dale. You the nigga here. Ain't we in the free world?
But they don't understand that kind of language, though. So you got to give it to them, I guess, in European, English, French language, because that's the only thing they can think. They don't know the real language will help us out.
Right. They only like the vulgar, provocative and all that erotic language. But guess what else he said? He said the oppressor has the right to exploit, to handicap, and to kill the oppressed. Negroes daily educated in the tents of such a religion of the strong have accepted the status of the weak as divinely ordained, and during the last 3 generations of the normal of their normal freedom, they have done practically nothing to change it. Wow, this is in 1933. And it's the same thing. How many years is this in 1933? 30 to 70.
Man, I got 70
plus 2. That's 89 plus.
It's a long time, put it that way.
It's 90-some years.
That's a long time.
It's 92 years. 92 years since this book was read. It's still the same stuff. You can read and you be like, wow, how are we practicing this? Talk to the women.
Y'all sent them out to them schools.
Ooh, my daughter just in trouble right now. She made 2 C's. She ain't make no D and no F. She made
because
a C.
That's not how we communicate and how we get around in the world. See, we hands on.
Right. So that what he's saying is, men learn by doing things. We don't learn by sitting down, reading the book and telling her and then regurgitating it back. We learn geometry by putting things apart. We learn all this trigonometry and this math and this science by doing stuff with our hands. But they got our boys trying to be educated or schooled like women. And that's an issue within itself, because the boys, I know it was boring in school for me.
It was boring for me too, man.
Except when I went to wood shop, horticulture,
right,
planetarium,
automotives. Stuff like that.
Yeah, auto mechanics and even home ec was interesting because I'm doing something.
And they got the women teaching them that now.
Uh-huh.
When have you ever seen your mom over in her car?
They got women teaching auto mechanics?
Man, they got women teaching auto mechanics.
I mean, but they got some of them got them skills too. Man. They got.
Man,
I agree with you. They're not supposed to be doing that man stuff because it creates the testosterone and makes the estrogen come up out of you. So
construction workers and stuff too. You got women construction where you see them all day.
I mean, but this the day and time we live in, so I can't say nothing about that. In the sense, we understand that you ain't supposed to be doing it, but they got the free will to do what they want to do.
I guess the woman can't teach no man how to be a man, and I think those are masculine jobs. That's my opinion.
True.
Now I can't stand to go to a doctor's office and
But
see
you
a
got
man.
some women. You got some women that can do the jobs better than some men. Though.
Yeah, because they emasculated.
Nah, they just got that. They just got their skill set. You
It's
just gotta respect
I
it.
feel funny going to the doctor's office. I see a man back there typing up, telling me what's your date of birth, so and so, so and so.
Because I ain't gonna let the dude touch me. Well, nah, I done had a male doctor too.
Well, I'm talking about like a secretary.
Oh,
Like a secretary. I'm talking about. Do you like male secretary? Do they not touch
it ain't a like or dislike with me. It's just that's just his job.
I'm just
that's
saying,
what he chose to do.
It couldn't be. It might just be me. I just don't like.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, let's get back on this education system. We trading these skills in for grades and degrees, man.
You traded the skills and trades for grades and degrees, and you got nowhere, boo boo.
And then
Yogi, where's the ranger?
But if they just look at it, when you have a student loan, you make $71,000. I'm just saying the average master's degree, $71,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you gotta pay back a student loan anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000. We just gonna make it.
And not to mention, you just left your mama house, and as soon as you leave your mama house, you $20,000 in debt.
Yeah.
For some books.
Now,
and some stuff you could have got on your own. To be honest with you, my friend,
you got a mortgage, a 30-year mortgage, so there's more debt.
That's after you done got out of school.
That's after you done got out of debt.
You got to pay for the honeymoon and the wedding too.
Yeah, and you got to pay for your wife wedding.
And then you got children; they got to go to school. Now you got to.
How much do you
understand?
How much do you really think you bringing in?
You ain't bringing in nothing. Cause first off, ain't no money. You don't even owe nobody nothing. But in the sense of because you don't know that. Check to check, my boy. That's why
that's what it looks like.
That's why they had the IRS and the government shut down. We need some help. How you need? I ain't get that either. How you need some help? You've been having a good job for a minute if you work for the government. You got benefits.
You can't file bankruptcy on.
How are you check to check? 2 checks broke you. You probably need to get back in these streets. Somebody need to kick you off the job and get your hustle.
Yes, sir. See, that's why if you have some successful dope boys because they business minded. They didn't go to school to learn it. It's a difference between skills and degree because dope.
Do the number, cuz.
Yeah.
What's the the number?
Oh, that's my cousin. She's saying do the number. She know I be spitting numbers a lot, man.
What numbers you want?
No, she was talking about when I just
said them numbers you just spit.
Okay,
spit them numbers.
Yeah. And like I was I lost my train of thought. Where were I going? Man? Lost my train of thought. But anyway, we done trade these skills and degrees in. I mean, trades and skills in for grades and degrees. And I feel like knowledge of yourself, learning what you can do with your hands, learning your craft, your art, your trade, what you good at. Not what I'm good at.
That's why you got that one fingerprint that nobody else has. Your mama don't have it. Your daddy don't have it. Look how you put it out, that fingerprint. You the only one have your fingerprint, so you here to do something that ain't nobody else here to do.
So why is they teaching their kids to go to school and stuff?
Because they just following the modus operandi, which we've been doing for the last 30, 40 years, and the women ain't got it, and they just in desperation mode because they behind enemy lines and they ain't been protected for the last 200 years, and then the men been shooting at each other, and then where we at now? Understand.
And where then it's a lot of depends, and I think a lot of it is that parents want their kids to live out their dream because they wanted to go to college.
But that too, but my mama still tell me today, you so smart. Why don't you go back to school? Well, if I'm so smart, why do I need to go to school?
But
this is what my mama tell me.
It could have been her dream. Did she go to college?
To the logic, though.
Oh, the logic.
That's illogical. Okay. You so smart. You should go to school. If I'm so smart, that means school didn't do that for me.
No, you did that on your own.
Of course. What I need to go to school for? To get some accreditation.
Somebody picture on the
so-called accreditation that I need to get a paper to put on the wall that can't go with me when I leave. That's the mindset of the thinking that you so smart you need to go to school.
Right.
Well, why can't I apply my smarts to just creating what I want in my life?
That could be the case in your case, but my case, my parents went to college, but at the same time they want me to continue that same tradition or whatever. And it's basically like their dream is for you to go and get this master's degree and become this doctor, lawyer, whatever.
Oh, status.
But that was never my dream.
All the titles and the stuff.
They wanted all the titles. That was never my dream.
But that had nothing to do with yourself.
They ain't got nothing to do with myself. I'm not going to tell my kids.
It's accomplishment and recognition. Everybody want a little recognition for something.
Right.
It's understood about the recognition part. Working hard and getting accolades and recognitions. You just collect it. But what they got to do with your child?
Nothing, man.
Can you pass the accolades and recognition down to your child?
Nothing.
Can you pass the degree down to your child?
Nope. Because the
Now-
Bible did say a wise man leaves inheritance for his children's children.
Man, what?
It didn't say money.
Right.
See, a lot of people think that when they said that inheritance for your children's children, it meant money. But we talking about skills, trade, and land, water. You know,
Teach me to fish. You ain't gonna have to feed me no more.
There you go. These things mean something.
All right, another excerpt from Carter G. Wilson, Miseducation of the Negro. So many brains that's been chained and it's running rampant. It's getting out of hand. They say the same educational process which inspires and stimulates the oppressor with the thought that he is everything and has accomplished everything worthwhile depresses and crushes at the same time the spark of genius in the Negro by making him feel that his race does not amount to as much and never will measure up to the standards of others people. The Negro, thus educated, is a hopeless liability of a race. Wow. 1933, baby. Not my words. 1933, Carter G. Wilson. This is a long time, 92 years ago.
That's a long time ago.
And you see the ramifications and the effects, and the people still doing it right now.
Okay, so that was 1933. We had doctors, lawyers of our own in our community back in the early 1900s, 1920.
Well,
Black Wall
this
Street
was written in
going on.
1933. You had Black Wall Street in 1922, but fast forward all the way to the 40s and 50s when Martin Luther King and them was being raised. They was raised in communities where all the doctors and the lawyers and everything was in the same community.
The same community,
It was us
right?
doing us for
Doing us, right.
We didn't have no issue.
I gave you a job,
Guess what? And you passed your money to me,
right?
and I passed my money to your brother,
Right,
and your brother passed it to my cousin,
right.
and your cousin passed it to my uncle, and then his uncle passed it to that lady uncle, and boom,
In our community.
and the money is circulating and aggregating. It's bouncing around in the same community, and it's making the wealth stay in the same spot.
And we're not talking about degrees where you go.
We ain't had no degrees.
We ain't had no degrees.
I mean, they might have had degrees, but where they getting them from, the black colleges?
I think so.
But even if they wouldn't, they was coming back to their community and building their community, doing for their community.
They were going to get the money on the outside,
Oh.
bring it back.
I was looking at, it's ironic you say that, I was looking at this thing about these black Republicans, these new generation of liberal, or what they call them, conservative black people who got these MAGA hats on and voting for them. And they made the statement that all Democrats do is bring up token Negroes.
I can believe
And they
it.
never do nothing for the black people.
I can believe it. Because they on one girl now that they're supposed to be running for the 2020 president, and they on her pretty bad.
She got the white guy, the husband, and she ain't got no children or something. I think I seen that.
She's the token. She's the token.
The difficulty is that the educated Negro is compelled to live and move among the difficulty is that the educated Negro is compelled to live and move among his own people whom he has been taught to despise. As a rule, therefore, the educated Negro prefers to buy his food from the white grocer because it has been taught that the Negro is not clean. So 1933. Don't we still practice this same craziness?
Yeah, and you can see it better now because once he get their education or their so-called education, he don't go back to the neighborhood he was born and raised in.
And then look,
and don't change that.
That ain't even chapter 1. That ain't even a chapter. It's the preface.
It's preface.
Oh my God!
So
it does not matter. It does not matter how often the Negro washes his hands. Then he cannot clean them, and it does not matter how often the white man uses his hands. He cannot soil them. The educated Negro, moreover, is disinclined to take part in Negro business because he has been taught in economics that Negroes cannot operate in this particular sphere.
Yeah.
The educated Negro gets less and less pleasure of the Negro out of the Negro church, not on the account of its primitiveness and increasing corruption, but because of its preference of seats of righteousness controlled by the oppressor. This has been his education, and nothing else can be expected of him. If the educated Negro could go off and be white, he might be happy. Wow. That's 1933. I know a lot of people that act like that too.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that act like that.
And the people that do have the money, the funds and stuff, a lot of them get their educated, whatever the accolade or the pat on the back, and they go run and move to the suburb because they say they don't want to come back to your hood, make your neighborhood. And because when you go grocery shopping, you're going in the community you live in.
You've been whitewashed.
Yeah, you're going to the community you live in.
Whitewashed, spraying now with the white water hose.
So when you go and live and move into those neighborhoods where they at, you're not giving your money back to that community that you're from. You're giving it to the new community that you live, these suburbs where you want to be seen and upscale like your European people that you swear have all the money. But another thing is, I can tell you the truth. They not the only one that got some money. It's some of us that got a whole lot of money. The thing is, we take it out of our neighborhood. We take it out of our neighborhood and we take it to somebody else's neighborhood. And then you wonder why we have poverty and crime so high. It's a lot to do with that. So what I'm just saying, man, we got to get this thing back together, man. Like my boy was just showing you, man, Miseducation of the Negro. It's a good book to read. You need to really read that. But be careful on how you train your kids, because your kids is they can't live out your dream. Your kids cannot live out your dream. Train your kids to be better than you, not just by education. Teach them some skill sets with your hands. Teach them some skill sets that they can use to move and take on to the next generation, to the next generation, to the next generation. I mean, pull your basic instruction before leaving Earth. I said, a wise man leave inheritance to his kids' kids. And you can curse your generation, your kids' generation, well, you can curse your children for 3 to 4 generations. We've been cursed 3 to 4 generations because our forefathers that we stood up and took so much pride, we were proud of them, but didn't know that they were working for their time. It may have worked for their time. I don't know. I wasn't living in that time, but as of today, we struggle from a lot of things that our ancestors have done. Everything wasn't all perfect glory and this and that. So what I'm saying, don't push your kids onto the educational scene so tough. Don't push them onto it so tough, because it's the school and the college and degree may not be for that person. I'm not saying don't go to college, don't do this. Everybody can use that experience for what it is. I mean, your social skills and all that kind of stuff. But when you push them that way, a lot don't come back. I know plenty of my friends that went to college for 2 and 3 years and come back home and got better jobs than they probably would. My own brother went to school for optometry. He went to school for optometry. Make more money now as an engineer than he did in optometry, or would have made in optometry. So be careful how we steering our kids. I want y'all to look at this though. I think by popular demand, we got this YouTube series gonna start by popular demand. It's called Breaking Bread at the Dinner Table, and you can come down here any Sunday and be a part. I can't get the exact time on it yet, but any Sunday we're gonna be here fellowshipping with drinks, food. We're gonna get some knowledge, wisdom, and some goddamn understanding around here. Because a lot of things, I mean, we gotta quit repeating the same cycle and expecting the different result. And this place is for men, because we bottle things up a lot. We bottle a whole lot of things up, a whole lot of stuff, and we don't get to express it because maybe the person in our household don't agree, and we want to keep down the peace. I mean, keep down the chaos and keep the peace in the household or something like that. But it's a lot of things that go on that we really, really need to get out. I mean, it's like going to the barbershop. When you go to the barbershop, man, we in there cutting the food, because there's a lot of things we can say in the barbershop that we can't say at home. So, Breaking Bread at the Dinner Table. That's gonna be our little YouTube series by popular demand. We got people all on there. They jumping on top of it. I mean, y'all come out and get part of it. Gillespie, what's up, man? I'm educating right now, man. I'm educating. And this Carter G. Woodson said a lot of good stuff. And the one thing he's really talking here is how we missed the mark. Integration helped us miss the mark because we wanted to fit in so bad. I mean, we had everything. But you want to be integrated. You want to use the same bathroom. You want to drink out the same water fountain when we had our own water fountain. You want to be accepted in places that they was at. We didn't need it. We had our own doctor. We had our own lawyers. We had all this here. And I'm not saying that some things was good, because now it brings what you want to say, it bring it to the forefront, like what you see today with y'all. So with the people saying that racism still exists, and the march and protest, it brings awareness to the situation. And I understand it. I can understand it, that the awareness and stuff, but I'm saying that we've been bamboozled because we stepped out the house with our fathers, or where our fathers left the house. and left us at home with the kids because the father was going off to war. When you go back and check the World War One, check World War One. When we left and went to fight somebody else's war, they left us overseas and left forced, because self-preservation is rule number one. So of course the mother had to take care of what's going on in the home. See, of course she had to step out and go find a job. Yes, we got overdosed a long way. So when she came back, I'm telling them how we got overdosed, how we got pushed out the household that left the woman to teach our kids, and we thought we needed an education. So back to it. When World War I, they came back home, the woman was out working, taking our jobs. She sent you to school. That's where the change was. When she sent you to school, now you got a woman teaching your child how to be a man.
Or giving you the definition of what a man's supposed to be.
Right. Emasculating the man.
Well, how they emasculate them is when they be beating their little boys, beating the brakes off of them. I'm talking about beating the brakes off of them. And them boys come back and take that same anger out on their partners and they friend or they same brethren or they same hood.
Right. That's the 3 to 4 generation.
Emasculate the women and de-emasculate the men.
Right.
And make them come out with dresses on and the girls just want to pay bills and want to do all this man stuff and got this too much testosterone. It's a chemical imbalance going on. The women have lost their femininity.
Right.
Because they've been doing all this masculine stuff.
Right. So I would use that to show you the first way of they were pushing us out into the school system.
Yeah, and technically a woman ain't supposed to be reading really, really basic. A woman ain't supposed to be doing all that reading and doing all that stuff. The man's supposed to do that. He get the information. He passed her the information. The first school is in the womb. She passed all that information down through the genetics.
And that's why they say a man you changed the last week. You told me a man is the responsible head.
The responsible head. And he receiving it. And the woman is the neck. She there to support him.
Right.
She's in submission. When she's following his mission, she's in submission to him.
There you go. Instead of pushing my kids out to these.
But guess what? I can't do all that when I'm trying to go get a job. I'm trying to go get the highest degrees. I'm trying to do all this man stuff. And I'm trying to do all what happened then. Before you know it, you 30, 40 years old and you still looking for a man.
You still looking for a man.
Like me and my wife was talking about, so how you gonna raise the children? Jade and I was like, I'm not gonna teach her to go after those degrees. Of course she gonna want to do all that. I inspire her to be the best she can be personally first.
Right.
My job is to teach her how to be a good woman to a man, because at the end of the day, when you finish getting all that stuff, you're gonna want a man and a family. And men are the purpose of women. You are here to do nothing else. Men are the purpose of women, because you are here to replicate yourself and duplicate yourself. And at the end of you finding all that stuff, you realize all these degrees, trophies, accolades, and you ain't got no man to rub and grab that booty like you want to. You can't rub that degree can't hug you, that degree can't kiss you. That degree definitely can't cut you. You might can buy you something that can cut you, but it ain't got nothing. This energy coming up off this vessel right here that God made for you. It say man is man is the glory of God and woman is the glory of man. Did you hear that?
Yes, it did. It's running one more time.
Man is the glory of God.
Right.
And God and woman is the glory of man. So we are the purpose of women. And if I ain't your purpose, why you with me?
Hey, they ain't gonna like that though.
It don't matter. It's a difference in how you feel and what's real.
Yeah, because that's big
difference.
Okay, I can understand, because a feminine trait, they will act off feelings and emotions.
Oh, they just off feeling. They just come left brain. We logical.
Yeah, we gonna give it to the real.
Yeah, left brain. Me and our left brain people. Y'all right brain, which is the emotional body.
Right. Because when somebody knock on their door 3 or 4 in the night, they gonna cry. Who is that?
And you instantly go into fight and flight mode. You like woo woo.
Yeah, same difference.
You like shut the fuck up.
Yeah, same difference.
Pull out there, go get the pistols. Be quiet. Doing all that screaming for. Oh, but when it's just me and you want to whoop. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. We gonna get on.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it another day.
Breaking bread at the dinner table, Shawty. Don't get it twisted.
Hey, I told him it's every Sunday.
Yep.
And we ain't definite on the time, but every Sunday we got to play for the men to emote, man. We gonna get it out.
And all the women, we want you to bring all your sons out so they can learn to start having healthier relationships. And with men, now we ain't on no Catholic Church Pope type stuff. So don't get it twisted. You understand me?
Yeah.
We ain't on no fondling in this mode. We just building healthier relationship with men.
Between men.
Because I didn't have it.
Yeah.
around me.
The elders.
Right.
We trying to be the elders to the youth, man.
No, we're not trying. We're doing it.
We're doing it. That's trying. See,
Lose
that's how
the word
change.
try. That's what black people
There you
do
go.
all the time. They always trying.
You got to talk.
I told
your
somebody
stuff into
last night.
existence.
I told somebody last night, try to drink some water. You're gonna be stuck right here.
Yeah.
We drinking water over here, baby.
So come on out, man.
Peace and love.
Breaking bread any Sunday. We, like I said before, we fellowshipping, drinking, we eating, fellowshipping, man. Just for a place for the men to emote. So if the women want to come out, y'all welcome too. We're not bashing anything. We're not bashing nobody. We're not bashing anybody. We just want to come out and have healthy relationships with everybody. So y'all come on out and get with us, man. So Nadia, I see you, man. Hey, peace, love, prosperity, abundance, health, and wealth.